But I do remember you, because I was out there during this rare occurrence. It was a cigarette was going on, and then Pierce even said, "You know, it's Jackie Daytona is especially massive lover of your fabrics."
I'm actually his manager.
Pierce is actually Sunshine Jackson.
Pierce is actually Sunshine Jackson.
I am Sunshine Jackson.
Today's episode of Stuck in Statics presented by the Church of Equipoise. Whatever awaits you outside this life is beyond comprehension. As such, any time spent asking, trying to learn, or unrestrain reason of today's Daniel has a church.
Understand.
Well,
yeah, this is fucking Hunter slaughters up.
This looks like a
Paris.
manifesto more than anything. What is this?
Today's episode is brought to you by Equipoise. Dan has a church, and it's a great church. Dan, you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll come back to it. Brady, who do we got today, big dog?
Today, we have Sonny Gale's ass. We have a man that's myth follows his legend like thunder follows lightning. When he goes swimming, dolphins appear. Silky Boys. And another special guest, we have Danny Shire with us. If y'all don't know who he is, he leads the church.
What drove you to start a religion, Danny? This is if you told me 10 years ago, most likely to start a religion in our high school graduating class, and it said Danny, I'd been like, yeah, for sure. For sure. That is for sure. So what drove you to this conclusion that you had to start a church?
So honestly, like I grew up deep in like Christian church. Like Wynn did missionary work out in Haiti, kind of like deep in it. Grandparents were missionaries. Mom was born and raised.
I'm just going to advise you to go ahead and put the mic in your mouth because it won't pick it up. Sorry.
Okay, so why
not? Perfect. Yeah.
Remind me of last week.
So honestly, I just felt like a lot of what gives religion meaning, like there's meaning where you put meaning, and like having traditions and stuff that you all prescribe to, that you all just decide has meaning and gives you like a social cohesion aspect. Like I feel like there should be at least a non-denominational thing to do that, like a social support. And honestly, like over 77% of suicides are directly like linked in some way to social isolation or loneliness. And I've had my own struggles with like suicidal ideation and depression, and especially like being in the military, like leaving that, you get that whiplash of like, oh, there's 300 people just like you that all live in the barracks and you're not allowed to be alone because there's no time for it, versus you live in an apartment by yourself, you've lost touch with your friends from high school, and even with the new friends that you make, you don't open up to them because you just feel like they wouldn't understand, or you'd be burdening them with your problems. Right. So at that point, like, I mean, good Lord, we lost 3 dudes from our high school class.
Yeah.
In the span of less than a year.
Honestly, a couple more recently too, not to mention other people that were not in our graduating class, but like close to it at least. But okay, so you kind of saw that there was like a gap in like a sort of purpose of people's lives in America.
Just like communal misery allows people to continue on. So there's interesting studies about like the London Blitz, how all the suicides dropped off.
Yeah.
While people were getting bombed.
Yeah.
During the whole span of the war, and then it peaked right back up after the ceasefire, after the peace treaty. And so the same thing, like the day after 9/11, there's like a 300-mile radius around New York where nobody committed suicide.
Yeah,
because it was just, hey, we're all going through this together, so no matter the misery, like, let's continue doing this. Yeah. But all that stuff spiked right back up after the war And they went and asked these people, like, what made the difference for you? Why did these symptoms like reappear after? And I was like, hey man, like I was in the tubes, just getting like for 5 to 8 hours listening to bombs drop down, not knowing if it was hitting my friends or family or my house or if the next one was coming through to us. And like it was so packed, couldn't move, like urinating, defecating on each other, on ourselves, on like all over. And I was strong for them. They were strong for me. I knew that we could get through this because like we all were. I was continuing on, like the whole keep calm and carry on thing was during this period of time. And then the war ended and everybody went back to their apartments where they lived by themselves and they never burdened anybody with their problems. And then like the suicidality just jumped right back
Let's
up.
get to the bottom of it. Why does that happen in our country, in America, where it doesn't happen maybe somewhere else that is a more communal place?
Well, so suicide is like a privilege of the upper class in first world countries. Sure. And it seems like the more like money allows you distance from everyday problems. And so like if you don't have problems, like we have a subjective sense of suffering. So that's why those people that are millionaires, they still complain. Yeah. Because we're always going to have something to complain about. We're always going to be suffering through in some way, shape, or form. But if you think that it's just money that's the cause of it, or money's the end all be all, that's why the people that win the lottery, eventually they're freaking the fuck out and they burn through all their money.
Yeah, yeah.
Same thing for those celebrities that fast track it up through money and fame. They just burn all through it and then they lose their fucking mind.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I have everything that I thought was stopping me from happiness, and now nothing makes me happy. And so, like, if you acclimate to that, because the human experience is very, like, adaptive. So if all of a sudden you have everything you ever wanted, you level right back out.
Yeah. So what is if you're describing your church, then how would you describe your church for someone who doesn't know you, doesn't know your story? It's something that they want to look for. What is your church? And say the name again, let people know. Just a little brief synopsis of it.
So it's called equipoise. It just it's a scientific term for the balance of forces. And really we call it bitchin' sessions. Sunday nights we just meet up, we make food together, and then we sit around the fire or hang out in hammocks in the grass outside if it's agreeable weather, and then we just complain for a while. And we're not looking for solutions. We just want to get this shit out there. So one, like, we're more aware of our own suffering, but also like it alleviates the pressure in some way. And also like same thing.
It's like a campfire every Sunday.
It's like a podcast.
Like a podcast. Like people in the restaurant industry like get so close together because what? You're all going through similar hardships. You're all open and honest about what you're suffering through.
That's what I always thought about stuff like sports or marching band too. Is like I felt close to these people because we went through some shit together.
It's
the
sense of communal misery that
that's
brings
why
you together.
hazing should be a thing still too, right? Is that what your church promotes? Is hazing?
I would say that's all. The definition
bonding
depends
never
on
hurt
where you're
anybody.
going. Because like I went through the Marine Corps, so your definition of hazing
You got triggered.
is like completely different to mine.
Right. Well, like let's define hazing. Let's say as drinking a handle of vodka while sitting.
Wall sitting? Okay.
Yeah.
So I personally wouldn't subscribe to that.
Okay, so we don't do that at the church.
No,
but
I haven't drank in like a year and a half.
Okay, but do we do other kind of hazing, like a communal suffering type of thing, where everyone suffers together and afterwards we're like?
I think life has us suffering enough on our own.
Yeah.
So I think just sharing that misery.
That's interesting though. But you said that suicide and stuff is a privilege of comfort essentially. And that like life might be like making us suffer so much, but at the same time we live in a place where life isn't making us suffer so much, right? It's kind of weird and counterintuitive and contradictory.
Suffering in order to experience.
And that's it. So suffering is subjective to your environment.
Right.
But if you have other people around you doing the same thing, then it's worth it. We keep going because we're all in this together kind of thing.
Yeah.
Versus what money does is it isolates you. It puts you in a position of power where you don't have to like think about the everyday things. You don't have to worry about like flat tires or gas in the tank or like food on the table or like making sure your friends are taken care of.
Yeah.
Because you have money for all those things. It's all your needs are all of a sudden taken care of. And so at the same time, like you can't complain about those things you're going through because you're just a rich piece of shit.
Yeah.
What are you complaining about?
Right,
Like
yeah.
I have people that complain about like that their dad yells at them, and it's like, that's all he does. And
Must be nice.
because it's all
Wish my dad
subjective, and
talked
so
to me.
some other people are like, "Wow, you know your dad," and it's
yeah.
so it
How
it
was
all,
that
like,
conversation?
Everybody suffers. Yeah, Brady and I were that conversation at work. It all depends on the person.
Well, Daniel, I want to
You're
also
spitting
get
over
in.
there, bro.
Yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. A nice intrinsic look. I feel like that you pulled from just your own experiences, able to develop this type of, I don't know, this sanctuary for feeling and sacrifice, and also kind of community as well. And I feel like that's always been a part of like what you've brought to the table, especially coming from your military experience and being a veteran and stuff. So, dude, appreciate you coming here, man. Let's get this shit
absolutely.
going.
Thanks for having me.
So we have the leader of the Equipoise Church, Daniel Shirey, Lost Me Mustache. But I also want to bring in one of our other guests. He's been on the show before. If you remember it, he was the silkiest boy. He is the dirtiest, but also the cleanest. Back in the 1800s, the word dude stood for a man that cared very much about his dapper appearance. We have the one, the only, the silkiest of the silk, the softest of the pure, Pierce.
He already got an intro.
Glad to be here and be stuck in static.
You missed it earlier, I think.
Pierce?
Pierce.
Yeah, I got to put pure
It's
in there.
juicy.
You see what I'm saying? So,
Euro trash. Pierce.
Pierce, we got you here, man. What's been going on with you, bad boy?
I beat him in disc golf recently.
Brady did beat me at disc golf for the first in at least 100 matches we've had together. He literally won't stop
Dude,
talking
Brady-
about it. I had strangers come up to me at
Wins
a
a
wedding
win.
and say, Brady told me that that he beat you at disc golf. I was like, yeah.
You're damn right they did. You know why? 'Cause it was a memorable day. Everyone witnessed it. There were scouts out that day.
Well,
It was literally me and Brady, and I gave him the win just so he wouldn't cause a scene.
That's not what happened.
But
well, I do want to
glad to
say,
be a part
Well,
of
let me
it.
tell you what happened. It was a hot summer day. I remember it like it was yesterday.
It wasn't
It was
hot.
October 28th
Summer?
at 3 p.m.
oh, it's Kentucky.
It was like a week and a half ago. It was cold.
Yeah, Kentucky's big.
This story is about as floppy as your mustache.
My mustache looks great as I stroke this thing. And let me tell you, that day was memorable because, like I said, scouts were out that day. It was a big tournament going on. It was only between me and Pierce. And I think it was televised on ESPN, the Ocho, if I remember correctly. You can actually watch it.
Ocho!
Yeah, you can catch it on Comedy Central at 4 a.m. It comes on after Girls Gone Wild.
Dude,
And
road racing is legit.
if you interrupt me one more time, or if you give someone else a second intro one more time, your mustache looks stupid. So I beat him
Go ahead.
-2 to -1. It was a good day.
Well, other than that bold-faced lie over there, I'm gonna.
Thank you for recognizing.
I'm gonna
take
say
that from me.
You're wearing an evil guy mustache, okay? You definitely just lied about that whole plot to take down
You
Pierce.
look like Section 8 Mr. Monopoly.
I look like I would. I feel like I would tie
Do
someone
not
to a
pass go.
railroad.
Do not
That's
collect
what I
your
look
welfare
like.
check.
I said yesterday, Brady looks like a dude that sells fake
He
Bibles.
only passes go on the 1st and the 15th.
I thought I looked like a guy who would rope somebody to a railroad track, but that's cool. I'll go with that.
You found $50 in food stamps.
What happened to the policy we had earlier where we just don't bully Brady? I miss that policy.
So it is.
I want to ask Pierce. Pierce, okay, so I understand the story a little bit, how you started Silky Boys. Essentially, Brady was 400 pounds, and you said, I'm going to start Silky Boys.
Yeah, it was
Right?
more or less a big loser project for Brady to make him fit tight clothes that I was making.
Was it? Okay.
I did it. I won. He
There were
sells
no
me
other contestants, but he
$100,000.
won.
Well, shit, dude, that's a good ass friend right there that will like start a company just so you can get you off your fat fucking ass. And
I mean,
It was motivation.
God, nice.
every hoodie I could make was 1 week of him not relapsing on crazy bread from fucking Little Caesars, so it was totally worth it.
The way he measured his sizes of clothes was like, this is 2 bags of crazy bread. This is 3.
Hey, but the thing is, though, you was still looking pretty damn good even at that heavy set back down.
I was a
Dude,
sexy
he
little
was a-
fat
he
boy.
was- I used to
was.
call him Big Tasty.
Sexy
It was
little
nice.
thing.
Oh, I was big
Well-
tasty, Bubba.
I was gonna say. So speaking of Pierce, some of your clothes, man. I see you brought some of us to. If you're wondering why we're looking so
Yeah,
flyed
this is,
out, we got our.
It's a hoodie
going
bucket
on.
hat made out of some grandma's curtain. This is Daniel. He's my in-house grasshopper, and he's been making some clothes and shit. It's got a couple blankets. And Brady's got the Commonwealth Stadium, fuck Kroger Field. That's what it's supposed to be called.
Yeah,
Facts.
it's always Commonwealth. Always will be.
That's what I'm saying. Fresh produce, same price, you know.
Wait, so did you have an interest in clothes like before you started, or were you just like, I'm gonna pick up a skill and you just chose?
Nah, it was, I was doing like vintage resale type deal with just fucking weird party clothes I was taking to festivals and reselling. And then my homie got me a sewing machine one Christmas for no reason. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
So
Is it the same sewing machine you still use right now?
No, I sold it to like one of my first people I taught how to sew. She didn't have one. So I was like, just buy mine. I'll teach you how to use it. I'll go use that money to buy a new one. So
about how efficient are you? Like 2 or 3 sweatshop workers wise?
So I had an intern that she was at UK, but she dropped out. So she was helping me for a little bit, but I've taught like at least a dozen other people how to sew and use the same patterns I've used and stuff before, but it's mainly just me making every step of the process for real. Yeah.
Okay. So did you learn just through like YouTube it?
What's that?
This guy.
It's a mustache. They kind of get a little nickel, dude.
That's why I sneezed.
I'm trying to ask a question, but did someone teach you how to sew, or did you just learn on like YouTube and stuff?
Mainly through YouTube, but my best friend growing up, his mom, was her profession since I've met him. She's like a professional seamstress for different shops she's worked at and stuff. So anything I couldn't figure out, I just take to her and she'd teach me how to do it or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So are all your designs just like makeshift fabrics and stuff, or do you like sketch your own designs as well and try to?
So it's mainly all just recycled vintage fabrics, nostalgia stuff. Like I use old Disney sleeping bags or bed sheets, just anything cartoon or super vintage, like curtains if I got enough material and stuff out of it. Just whatever I can really find.
Sick, man. I've never worn some of your gear before, but this is honestly pretty, it's comfortable. It's light. I love that you have the matching bucket hat with it, dude.
Yeah.
Not like a sailor.
I'm sorry. My forehead clearly is why people tune in.
You look like Little Debbie if you was like fell into.
I'll be honest. I thought you were trying to cross the border.
What the fuck, guys?
It's the worst sombrero I've ever seen in my life.
You got that in New Mexico, didn't you?
He's not wearing enough turquoise.
Not enough turquoise.
Yo, could you imagine Hunter in Mexico like speaking Spanish, like with the confidence he has that he talks about football?
You'd be like,
He's
oh, Mexico City's like Germany. Cristiano Ronaldo. Fuck yeah, dude.
But no, man, it's super comfortable. I'm glad you're still grinding. We had you on, I think, in March or something like that. So I know you've been doing your thing and grinding it out.
I
You've
had
got some shit ton of new stuff,
a
man.
fashion show a while ago.
Thanks
at
for the
Lyric
invite.
Theater. I mean, everyone was invited. Chill out, bro. And
Thanks for showing up.
We've got like a pop-up / runway show. I think it's November 17th out at Vintage Therapy, the Gray Line Station.
Okay, yeah, Gray Line's
And
awesome.
Got a
You need models?
yeah, probably.
Can I be one?
Yeah, just wear exactly what you're wearing besides those tacky boots, and we got you.
First off,
Tacky boots.
they're not tacky.
Everybody at Gray Line Station.
And then
big foot fetish,
just
so
got a
Really?
couple
take 'em off.
I got
pieces
web
of
toes.
clothing entered for the Lexington Art League at the Loudon House. It's in Castlewood Park, so I'm gonna have a few pieces displayed there throughout November, December. So
Yeah, man.
got some bougie fucking.
So what's like your process? Do you see something like in mind that you want to make and then you make it, or do you like find something and you're like, oh, I can make it into this?
It's
Or-
usually a combination of both. I usually see either a piece of fabric that's the right size or something I'm looking for that fits exactly what I'm thinking about, or
Yeah.
it's just something weird and offhand. Want to try like a new experiment with and
Right.
make some stuff.
Okay. How do you stay like motivated to keep making stuff? I feel like that's the hardest part of like, when you're in a creative endeavor, just to be like, oh,
Honestly,
I'm just gonna go into the
it's
next
just
thing
a
and go.
whole lot of dabs and keep myself sedated through the manual labor. And I feel like if I stop doing it at this point, people will just be super concerned about it, and I couldn't pass it off. So
I think think that's kind of a cool segue.
I'm just already so deep into it that it's paying off and I'm enjoying it. So
Well, it's kind of a
there's
cool
no reason to
segue
really
Dan
stop at
was
this point.
talking about earlier with like you kind of the pain is kind of enlightening in a little bit. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
like I was doing like the whole past year and a half. I was doing just the clothing thing. Just that was my only form of income at all, and it was paying all the bills plus extra. I didn't really have to like chill out at any certain level, and I literally can't move back to Lex and started my serving job again just because I was like, I'm just straight up misbehaving, dog. Like I have absolutely no suffering, or don't have to do
fingers are
anything
getting
I
it, though.
don't want to do. So like,
Yeah.
it's still decent extra money and
Yeah.
makes me be sober for 6 hours out of the day. So it's not a bad thing.
It's all about balance, man. Right?
Yeah,
Danny?
exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Some equipoise right there.
I was having too much fun, straight up.
So today we actually brought you here, Hunter. We're going to induct you into the church since we're all members and you're not.
That's right. So what do I got to do? Because I'm not doing the thing.
First off, don't have a Wario
First, you
mustache.
got to talk into the mic.
Yeah, I like how you turned it upside down.
Your mustache is
I'm
you
different.
look like Wario, but still Mexican. Second, we're going to baptize you in a pool of 7-Up.
Oh, dude, that's
We
what
just
I
learned
Will,
equipoise love 7-Up.
Well, Dan, I was a little curious because, like, in my head, I'm thinking how hard it must be to like to start. Like, where in your head did it start to where you're like, I want to get a church going on, and what is that process like? Like, do you have to know someone like Pierce? Like, does he have a church guy?
I mean, all a church is a group of people.
There's a lot of paperwork though, right?
If you want to get it established as a 501c3 nonprofit.
But luckily, my
caught
mom
that.
is a notary and she notarized the documents. So you just got to know somebody like Pierce.
He's about to pull out these documents. There's official in this bitch. Let's read it.
My parents literally stamped the shit and said, "What did I just sign?"
Did I just start a
Articles
cult?
of Incorporation. Oh shit, this is the wrong one.
Did I just start something Kanye's gonna hate in 20 years? No, these are legit. I mean, these are like stamped and everything. Holy shit. Bro, your signature looks like you started a religion. This is like the most schizophrenic. It's almost 3D. Jesus Christ.
It's just a
trying to
dick.
put more spirals in it.
Okay. I think you could do a couple more for sure. All right, it definitely says Danny Shark. No, I mean, like, I think it's an interesting point you bring up about like isolation, and like, do you think that's uniquely allocated to like our country, our people type of thing, or do you think this is something that it's a wave that's passing through time and eventually getting to everybody in the world?
No, I think as like more and more people get economically, I guess, lifted up
Out of like
at
pure
that point-
poverty.
At that point, like that enables privacy.
Yeah.
And the more private you are, the more shame you have to hide. And so at that point, like that's the shit that makes us human. It's like all this stuff. Like it's kind of like Syndrome says in The Incredibles when.
I'm sorry, you look like a dry guy right now.
You look like a smooth boy.
You look like you got that mustache so you could like block the cum hitting your chin.
It looks like his
You look
Brady's is glistening, like it's used with cum.
That's how I keep it there.
Damn right.
I almost like how the mustache is adjusting itself for the camera.
Yeah, right. Like, get my good side.
I did it like that on purpose.
3-dimensional.
Hunter and Pierce, you both look like you listen to Limp Bizkit's break stuff before every shift at work you have.
You guys look like off-duty Insane Clown Posse members.
Too far.
Sorry. We like ICP here. We
There's
like
no
you guys.
face paint in here.
Okay, you're right.
Or else I'll be wearing
Right.
it.
Juggalos is what they're called. I'm sorry. I apologize.
And juggalettes if you're a girl.
Juggalettes, not juggahos. I thought it was juggahos.
No, juggalehoes is offensive.
Right? That's what I'm
Depends on
saying.
the juggalette.
Really? Is it like is this like pronouns for ICP? Are we gonna have like a million of those too?
I'm down. Oh, so you call your amigo ninja?
I'm non-binary.
Yo, what?
He's definitely not non-binary ninja. If I've ever heard one.
I'm trans juggalo.
Juggalips.
I'm a fallen hatchet man. I drink my favorite Faygo is Diet Cream Soda.
Brilliant. That was a fat ass dab on the podcast. A straight Delta 8.
Pierce is a rock star. You think we can troll him on here?
I was told I was allowed to do dabs.
It's actually
I know your source right now. I know who it was.
It's legal because it's religious sacrament.
Oh, there we go. Can you do that?
Yeah, 1990 Religious Freedom
That's
Restoration Act.
incredible. Yeah. So how many like things can you get away with as a church?
Most of it.
Is there like a?
I don't know if you should phrase it as we can get away with.
It's like,
I mean,
What do you
What you can
endorse?
practice.
what are the benefits of doing it in a church versus doing it by yourself?
What is a sin and not a
liability?
sin in your community?
Well, I mean, sin's subjective to the person. So I'd say like there is no sin because like what is theft to a man that's starving to death?
You know, the people are talking. Would you consider yourself the next Billy Graham?
Oh, fuck no. That dude's fucking nuts.
So there's an answer for the people.
But as we're going through it here, I wanted to ask you guys some of the questions of how did you guys run into each other? Because I worked with you, Daniel, at Malone's, and we went to high school and stuff. And then you and Paris currently now live together. Because you've picked up sewing too. Paris, Jesus, Pierce. It's a lot of peas, dude. A lot of pee-pees.
Paris, you can live with me if you want. I got a comfy ass couch.
You can have my bed.
There's
Apparently you live there anyway.
That's where you've been this whole time. But you guys, so how did you, kind of form this sewing circle? That's what we call it now.
It's just two guys, so it's
Two guys, one up.
a sewing circle jerk.
Oh, okay. Now, have you found yourself enjoying it more? Like, did you kind of get into it, or were you already kind of sewing beforehand, Daniel?
No, I did nothing. I actually would bring Pierce like various fabrics I would find, and I'd be like, hey, this should be something. And that was all our relationship was for like 3 months.
Okay.
And then like we would just talk every once in a while he was there, and then he let me know he was moving back to Lexington. Was looking for a place. I was like, man, I got a spare bedroom that I've just been filling with crackhead shit.
Sick.
So
And now we got him a crackhead on blankets.
Yeah, dude.
That fit
He
beautifully.
literally has
Glove.
probably like 100, and I have 4. He's
Now,
literally
that was-
he's scalping the whole
Yeah, I got a
market and
problem.
just
He's just going in on it.
giving it to the hoes, giving it to the homeless, giving it to his fucking homies. It's fucking,
that's true.
it's fire. It's fire.
Y'all need to hang with my grandma because you guys would find some serious deals.
I love gilfs. I would totally be down.
Okay, let's.
When are we
You would
Eiffel
love
Tower?
the
Let's,
Georgetown Pellers Mall.
Patricia, I
Georgetown
love you.
Pellers Mall's dope.
Yeah, but no, because now that I've kind of been going in there and seeing stuff. I wouldn't say that it's easy, but it's just having an eye for that kind of stuff, and just after you like especially with yours, because I feel like your style is its own style.
I definitely have a lot of people bring me absolute hot garbage that they're really excited about. And I'm just like, oh man, thank you so much. I hope you don't go to the Goodwill I donate this to. But I try to get what I can out of fucking shit people bring to me or whatever I can find.
At this point, I feel like you and Daniel need to get one of those, like at Hearts, the dry cleaning place where it's got like the beep thing when people pull up and they're just giving you guys bags. You know what I mean? Because that shit would be
Fire.
fuego.
I've got like a hefty amount of either fabric or just clothes at like 3 different of my homie's house and basement stored away because I don't have enough room for it in my own fucking house. I have such an obscene amount of fabric that I couldn't even imagine going through in my lifetime that
Do you ever see like?
I just cannot bear to throw away any of it.
Do you ever think there's going to be like your best piece of work? I know it probably hasn't come yet, but do you ever envision that? Like, do you ever?
Every now and then I have what I consider like my favorite thing I made or some shit.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting better and better. And like whenever I have fashion shows or like this art gallery stuff I'm about to do, I try to make something really unique and not even necessarily wearable in public, but just something super dope.
For like a fashion show.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, are you like making that with like knowing like, oh, this is about to be fire, or do you not know until it's made?
No, I generally have a pretty good idea about stuff. I don't really sketch anything out, but whenever I come across some like super, super crazy fabric or something like that, I try to plan it out beforehand and make extra unique touches to it and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make good use of the
And
good
I
shit.
hardly keep like anything that I do make straight up. Like I literally have one hoodie out of the 1,000 I've made straight
I have
up.
more hoodies that you've made.
Yeah, I literally don't own hardly any of my own clothing besides just like shit that I'm like, oh, I'm literally never gonna come across this again. And make something out of it.
Yeah,
But
is there some stuff where you're like, nah, this is for me?
yes,
Yeah?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
okay.
handful of things. Not honestly too much. I still like to dress super comfortable, and I'm a dirty, gross boy. I like to go play a lot, so I don't like to wear my. I'm a dirty, gross boy. I get smelly. My clothes are not meant to be washed super often.
Tamed.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep this fucking meat wagon down here
Dude,
under
you're
control.
torqued. Don't even try to hide it.
Hope you're ready for the Oregon Trail because you better hop on this wagon. But
Before the train was invented, they would run wagons on your grandmother.
you know, there are moments. Don't fucking laugh.
Because she's slutty.
You guys are not going shopping now. You've lost your fucking right to
That
do
was
that.
funny. I'm sorry, that was funny.
I bring you guys fucking mustaches. We get you guys some cute little chairs, and you just talk about railing my grandma?
No rails, dude. They weren't invented.
Just be respectful to her.
dirt lines.
You're having a good time now, aren't you?
I was so glad we're making fun of you and not me for once.
The tough part now is segue
While we're on the
off of
subject,
running
Brady.
train on grandmother.
You can't hurt me.
Let's fuck the Hunter's
I could've
grandma.
shot
Yeah, guys, let's go.
Hey, Hunter's grandma's a very lovely woman.
Yeah, that's why we're all gonna fuck
But
her.
I would
after
call
this,
her
right?
late as fuck.
Oh
today.
yeah, I've got standards, dude.
Daniel, I
can't wait for the next Stuck in Static, but it's Stuck in Grandma.
I don't want to go to your fucking church. Everyone's grandma. What do you have to like? You put your name, address, what's your grandmother's maiden name on there as well.
I got
Let's
that
just say
news.
your grandma showed up and put her entire inheritance in the tithing box.
Let's just say she got something to suffer from now.
Well, I'm just really happy she's putting their money towards
At
small
his church,
businesses.
we don't drink grape juice and little breadcrumbs for wine and bread. We kind of eat something else. You know what I'm saying?
She makes a hell of a chicken salad.
We'll call it a chicken salad. Whatever kind of salad you want to call it, we toss that shit.
That was pretty good. That was
Smells more like a seafood salad.
Extra mayonnaise.
yeah. So
Are we done with your grandma
you
yet?
guys met. I'm assuming
we're just getting started.
We're just started.
through mutual friends over there.
Deflect.
I gotta deflect, dude.
He's not used to be the butt of the
Put
joke.
your hat down. Deflect it more.
Deflect.
See, that's how you
By the way, all
deflect.
clothing produced and distributed by Silky Boys.
Dude, that tennis bracelet, the ring, and the hat, right? You look like a fucking trailer park rapper.
I feel good. I do. On the way over here, I was hardcore into
You look like
fucking
Big
Eminem.
Smo.
I was Limp Bizkit and Papa Roach was on the playlist when I came over here. I was fucking in it to win it.
Cut my life into pieces.
you-
This is my favorite head.
Yeah. Do you remember when we went
That's
to
my
that?
last grandma.
Suffocation. Choking her out. That's her favorite way to get out.
The fact that we were able to keep going.
I've actually wrote
I'm
this song
fine.
already.
I'm fine. I'm glad I brought the mustaches. I'm glad we're wearing the gear.
Dude, I'm wearing
and
a
I'm glad my
villain
grandma was
mustache.
brought
Love
up in the
mustaches.
podcast.
How are you going to have me wear a villain mustache and not even rap out your grandma?
That's true. I did this to myself, man.
That's kind of your fault.
You're like you make a mean winter schnitzel.
A what?
I don't know.
A
Schnitzel.
wiener schnitzel?
Winter schnitzel. No, it's no schnitzel.
Winter?
No, if you're from Germany, you call it a schnitzel.
And you look like you've definitely marinated pork and fucking wild turkey.
It was terrible.
Hey, you look terrible.
So let me ask, how did you guys end up living it? How did that, like, I know, how did you know Pierce before?
That's the same.
We literally have the last 30 minutes was the story.
He's trying to show. He's so.
We're about to go in the same loop and talk
I
about
don't-
your
we
grandma
can't do
for
this.
the fourth time.
That's how we met.
Your
talking
grandma
about-
actually
yeah.
introduced us.
Why don't we just like skip that and go back to your grandma, dude? How about
Yeah.
them tits, bro?
We were talking about a niche earlier. Well, we found it. We found our niche. It's your
We're in
grandma.
the spin cycle, baby.
That's the niche. Yeah. The niche is not repeating our questions.
All right.
It's a weird genre, but
You want me to lead it?
Go.
All right, cool. So, let me get this going first. So,
Brain and capacity.
brain capacity? Mine's at like 50%. So, Pierce, Danny, top 3 favorite Silky Boy shirts right now. Go.
Shirts?
Yeah. Or hoodies. Or any clothing fabric.
closey hoodie you made recently, the fringe pants. And
All right, you're
honestly, this hoodie.
Yeah, that one matches his dog. We got a big fucking
You're already out of time.
Alaskan
Keep going.
wolf dog. called Luna. She's a bitch.
Fucking.
We
just
like
a
to
bitch.
verbally berate her on a daily basis. Probably so that one. I made these bleach teas of like a dinosaur sucking its own dick.
That's
like a
pretty
big
dope.
bronchiosaurus just sucking itself. That was probably one of my favorites.
Oh wow.
Probably the
And,
only dinosaur that can do that.
And I
What
made
doesn't
like
have hands?
a handful of Dale Earnhardt blankets. Like 3 or 4 of those because raise hell, praise Dale,
Yeah.
the goat.
Yeah. How many wins you got?
And black, too many. That's what I'm saying.
I like it. Good answer.
Not enough.
Not enough.
He ain't dead. He's a lap ahead. I'll tell you what.
What was it like living with Brady when he was in his degenerate phase?
I would say it was kind of like
Pretty tame.
Really?
it was kind of like volunteering at a children's hospital.
Yeah.
He's kind of like just taking care of an adult retard
Because
most of the day.
he's taking shits most of the time, right?
Yeah, the Crohn's
Yeah.
was kind of out of hand.
Yeah, it wasn't her admission yet.
He would just play like really bad video games like religiously on purpose.
Rayman
And
Legends
we'd-
was a
and
very
we'd
fun game.
and we'd eat a whole lot of mushrooms.
We ate a shit ton of mushrooms together.
That's great. Did you draw any inspiration from Brady's habits?
Literally, no one's ever drawn any inspiration of anything I've done in this life. And
You
I'm
didn't ever
scared
see
from that.
Drawn
like
Brady
the
twice.
crazy bread in his chest hair and just be like, you know,
Oh,
that'd be a
dude,
good
I would
hoodie.
watch him finger fuck the empty bag of crazy bread like he was a crackhead on a consistent basis. And
He didn't even inspire like a 4X hoodie or anything.
we've had some 3Xs, but
first
not
off,
4X.
I was
not
3X.
He's not allowed to
Maybe,
wear
maybe
the
one of those
hoodies until he
onesies
can
where the
fit them.
ass like flap comes out.
No poop shoots.
No?
No.
Yeah.
You should make
I love a good poop shoot though,
You should make your own.
Call them butt fuckers.
or that.
How did you acquire
It
more
depends
facial
where you're
hair,
at.
Danny? Where did you
Well,
get?
eventually it grows.
Okay. You just got a hell of a chin strap there on your face.
The chin strap's been there for a week at least.
You're right. What am I thinking? I'm cut off. Don't look at me.
I'm waiting for you to take it control.
I've been taking control.
I'm waiting
Are
for
we
you
gonna
to
down
take
at
finger
their
fuck
favorite-
this salsa or what?
Hunter looks
We're
like
gonna
a.
take your. We're also.
You ever seen the baby
Well, guys-
that has like the fucking?
I actually have a new segment
Weird hat
presented
thing.
by Propel Water that we're going to do today.
Which flavor?
There's gonna be spit
Flavors
takes on
blue
you.
and blackberry.
Propel?
No, we're going to have an Indian leg wrestling tournament.
Who's in it?
You're
I'm the
fuck-
champion.
Versus?
Can we do 2-on-1? Because you got.
Anything involving Brady's hamstrings needs
calves
to
are
be
bigger
knocked
than my
out
I'll
right
beat
now.
you.
Yeah.
I will beat two of you at
I'll
once.
beat you.
I'll beat two
Your
of you at
technique
once.
is really bad. I've seen it.
I whooped you one day with scoops.
That was one day.
Brady's never had technique. He's relied
Scoops weighs
purely
like
was
on
just
6
to
strength.
gaslight
pounds,
you
dude. He's
for
made a
this moment.
linguine.
Say
Go smoke a cigarette and let's do it.
No, I want to do it now.
I want to smoke a cigarette before I beat you.
How about
And after.
After I beat you, you go smoke that cigarette and like I can't believe you beat me in 2 things this past month.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
It's November now though, but
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, now it's no FAP November, so if we wrestle, it's going to be kind of against the rules.
How do you wrestle?
What do you want him to say? What do you say to
He
that?
keeps putting the mic back to
Kind of a
him.
mic drop.
He's being polite.
I'm being polite. Something Hunter and Paris
Being
aren't doing
impolite.
over there. I'm just about to say.
At this point, I've stopped trying to.
Every
reach
time
for
I
it.
look
just-
over, here's
yeah.
Paris.
Grab
Hunter
it.
starts
Yeah,
talking,
but
then he
yeah.
look at the Hunter.
Hunter's grandma,
Hunter's too ADHD. Yeah.
and I'll say yeah.
He knows exactly how to stun me now. I'm just like,
But I wanted to get back more into Danny's religion thing because I think it's an interesting topic because, like you said, we've had a lot of people or lost a lot of people our age, but like this kind of thing affects mainly men, if you've noticed, right?
Yeah, 80% of suicides are men.
Right. And like, I don't know if that's because of just like men are just more willing to do, or more impulsive maybe overall and like get to that point and like do it quicker. Or do you think it's like a unique thing that's happening to men in general that
So there's a couple factors behind this. One, we do tend to be more isolated, especially with things that we're going through. We don't like to fucking like open up about the burdens and shit that we're suffering from. Two, while men commit 80% of the suicides, bless you, Jesus.
Starve for attention.
Women attempt suicide 4 times more often than men. So what that is men traditionally do a much more violent method, and like it's decisive, like blowing
Yeah.
their brains out.
right.
not the time, gentlemen.
No, he had something to say. I was saying, let's hear it. He backed out of what he had to say.
cigarette.
You said cigarette. You fucking
He said
fiend.
secret, not
Cigarette.
cigarette.
Freudian slips are happening right now.
Do you want a cigarette?
No, I quit him.
You just had one earlier.
You just had one.
That was to remind myself why I hate
I bet you
him.
beat Pierce at Ultimate Frisbee, too.
I did beat Pearson Ultimate Frisbee.
Oh, what about disc golf, though?
Well, that was different.
Ultimate Frisbee, not a shot. Disc golf, definitely not a shot.
I already beat you. You're off the list. So for the viewers that don't know, I have a list of people to mark off on my disc golf list. And the list got thinner that I beat Pierce. Let's just say that.
That is how it works.
Overdue.
You know what? I don't like your intellectual bilingual shit.
To be fair,
I
Brady
don't
plays
like-
at River Hill 3 times a day, 14 times like a week, and
That math does not check out.
Doesn't add up.
no, it,
Even I
it
know
does.
that.
Multiply by
14
3
is not
divided by
divisible
4.
by 3.
Oh, wow, you're a math teacher now too. Go fuck yourself.
It's
Here's my
literally
thing.
the remedial disc
No,
golf course.
yeah,
It's
so-
fucking
so
You
my
don't
trash.
have to be a math teacher to know fucking
Here's
4 times 3 is not
It's literally
14.
the easiest
I know
shit
how
in
it
the
works,
world.
Dan. I clearly went to
guys,
college.
I treat disc golf like I do sex. If I got it, I got
Poorly.
it.
Yeah, that's a good point, dude.
If I got it, I got it.
You've only beaten
Here's
Pierce once.
here's been
I've
my
only had
biggest thing
sex
about
once.
it. He is there. He is at that course so much, and I'm just like, Brady, try something new, do something different. He does the same fucking thing every time out there. He does a little fucking, and he does a flip, and
Can you
fucking throws
describe
it.
that for the podcast listeners?
Okay, so it is a truffle shuffle up to the corner rim. It's a fucking,
It's like if you watch Michael J. Fox try to play frisbee.
exactly. And, oh, dude.
It's like he's crumping the whole way up to the edge, and
because
then
I
he
am
just
crumping.
fucking shanks it on
My
purpose.
biggest thing is like, Brady, change it up, try something new, and he's got some singers and dingers out there. But my thing is, bro,
Mainly
own the
dingers.
course, man. Why change up the course, Brady? Do something different.
It's
with
literally
moves.
like his home turf that he just takes his shit on every time. He's like, I know this like the back of my hand that I've never seen before.
Like, do you know how many different stances I've had to go through to get to the one I have?
Oh
Took a
yeah,
lot.
it's bad.
It's not bad.
It's bad.
Like, I'm crumping the whole way. I look dope. I've got one foot like that propositioned up so I can throw from my hip like that. It's a whole science.
It's
heard
like a
Brady-
really bad slow motion interpretive dance.
Do you know what the word proposition means?
I don't know. Do you know what the word up means, Danny? Did you think about that?
We've had to go over the word
you got me
juxtaposition probably like
fucked up.
4 times on this podcast. So yeah.
Juxtaposition.
Juxtaposition's getting us real shook.
That
on
one's
this
dumb.
podcast.
I'm just gonna stop using it
Yeah.
at this point.
I got
If he's sponsored by any word, I want it to be that word.
I got a juxtaposition for you.
Yeah.
I got a junction
said-
position.
I got a juxtaposition
I
for
got a
this
proposition
motherfucker.
for you, junction.
I thought, thanks, Dylan. I can always count Dylan. To
Thanks for making sure it rhymed.
Yeah.
You actually stopped using
That's
juxtaposition.
not all about rhyming. I was going to go into the second verse with it. I don't know how poetry works, but it seems like it could be close to that.
That's a Mongolian throat singer right there.
Stop it! Sucker Stack's taking a break.
And guess what? Going on that, it's time for a little. I hit the wrong button, but we're gonna get it.
What is
I
that?
said it's time to move. It's time to groove. You better get your thumbs right, cause you're gonna pop something tonight. It's that bubble wrap pop. Bop.
You have to do one at a time. What are you doing?
I would like everybody to know I didn't mind the fastest with one hand because I'm that strong and that big a hand.
I popped them all on my head.
That's funny because you look like an idiot.
Popped all yours before we started.
All right, we're gonna take a break, y'all.
Take a quick break.
Feel good.
So Brady, can I bum one of those?
These. Tell me a joke for a Zen, Dylan. Celebrity shot. Let's hear it.
What did the nearsighted gynecologist and the puppy have in common?
What's that?
A wet nose.
Here you go.
What do a gynecologist and a delivery driver have in common?
What's that?
They can smell it but not eat it.
What's the best part about the paraplegic Olympics?
What?
Getting up and walking away.
What's the best part about school shootings?
What's that?
I don't gotta pay for your dumb kids' free lunch no more.
How do you tell Dolly Parton's kids from the audience?
Oh.
The breast. Fuck. The birthmark or the fucking stretch marks. They don't suck. It's a good joke.
The breast bar.
No, you tell Dolly Parton's kids from the audience by the stretch marks on their mouth.
This joke sucks. So, guys, one of our sponsors today is brought to you by Henry Clayton's Hot Salsa, a small business owner in Georgetown, Kentucky. Brought me some of this salsa today while I was working. He remembered me after helping him load some lumber in his car, and he brought some of his excellent salsa to the place of my work. He told me the story, and the story goes that when he was in prison for 20 years, he learned how to make this salsa from a ex-gang member who was the leader of the Crips. Now, before the Crips guy was desperately put down in a gang war that happened inside the prison, he taught him how to make this while they worked in the kitchen together. And today we have an excellent balance of both salsa and hotness with a great collaboration of natural ingredients consisting of jalapenos, peppers, white garlic, some homemade grown tomatoes, and the most important part, love. So you all, if you're looking for some excellent heat and salsa combined into one little jar there, check out Henry Clayton's Prison Heat Salsa, folks. Get a little taste of that. What do you think?
The secret ingredient is hot cart every other Wednesday and felonies.
Are we all going to take a dip of it?
Not gonna lie, not that hot.
Well, it tickles on the back. It's supposed to be.
No, I'm not feeling it yet.
Yeah, that's a good way to put that.
Brady's back is very calloused from.
No, it's
Brady's back
like
is
it's not
very
crazy
calloused.
hot, but it's got really good flavor.
Yeah, good flavor.
Oh, it's delicious. I should have started with that. It's delicious. It's really good. Just,
Oh, that's chronic.
you know what? I'm starting to get the heat on the back of my throat now.
That's
I'm getting
fire.
Okay.
I'm an asshole. Sorry. I'm
Just
getting
like every Friday
No,
night,
that's
you'll
dank.
find it for us.
that's fire.
I like how on the label it says "Living My Dreams" just on the side of it in like
Well,
the
yeah, because
sky.
he's out of prison.
No, true, facts. So,
Every
yeah.
day's free.
He's thought about this for
think
20
about leaving
years.
prison and now you're selling hot sauce salsa.
Hey man, my man is he's an older gentleman and he came in. I'm not for sure how old his age is, but he came in with a lot of passion and he tried to tip me when I was out there, and I was like, "Don't worry about tipping me." I heard you make some awesome salsa, so he brought in some salsa. He's like, "One of your boys helped load my car. He wanted some salsa." And he came in with this huge rack of jars. He goes, "So where do you want me to put them all?" And I was like, "Whoa, dude! Like we can't sell that here, but it's delicious." So
Just put that in your hand.
Yeah,
What are
let's
you
talk
doing?
about that.
in the mouth.
Let's talk
I'm not
about it.
sharing a spoon with you,
Brady,
degenerates.
Why?
It's not
We
a
shared
Zen,
it with
Brady.
you, jackass. Yeah.
We've
If
shared blunts
anything,
for years.
we're
the
better
one-
than you.
Can't contest.
I'm kind of a famous podcaster.
What's
now,
wrong with our
so-
mouth?
Well, for starters,
You never had a problem with it before.
now, guys, we would have
Filthy.
chips instead of a spoon, but that was a key ingredient I forgot to bring with the salsa.
I don't want to dilute this salsa.
My favorite part of chips
Yeah,
and salsa
don't
is not
dilute it.
having chips at all.
the chips were overrated. Just the salsa
Just
part.
drink
no.
it out of the fucking.
Spoon it up.
COVID's over, right?
Bet you won't drink it.
No, yeah. That's
You want
all.
to put it in a beer pong and see if you can chug it?
Wait, where can you buy this stuff?
They're
Yeah, but
pronounced
not
bean
like they're
bombs.
fucking baked beans, you savage fuck.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about that for sure.
You're a witness.
Yeah, just bring it up.
You want to bring it up?
Oh yeah, you can bring it up. That's gross.
After the sponsor. after the sponsor will bring it up.
It is delicious salsa.
Somebody's listening right now like, how the fuck do I buy it? Right?
You don't
Right.
get it.
So it's Henry, to visit at, okay, it says Henry Clayton, owned and operated in Northern Kentucky. By owning a small business, I am living my dreams. It says www.henryclayton.com. henryclayton.com. Okay, we good on that?
And he told me that he said that if you use the promo code for more than 4 jars, promo code being static, you will get a 15% discount.
Are you lying to our guests right now?
No.
Are you, you're not?
No, so he told me
Yeah,
that's
for
why I
real?
have to bring the fucking salsa.
Holy shit, real sponsor.
That's awesome. A real sponsor. Let's go.
Fucking made it, boys.
Yeah.
Made the salsa.
This is supposed to like to be famous.
henryclayton.com. That's where you can get your, what is it called? Prison heat hot sauce. Oh, because he was in prison.
Yeah, prison.
Damn.
What's the
okay.
promo code again?
Static. STATIC, I believe. Well, yeah, get your hot sauce on. That's dope.
That's some good hot salsa.
I think if you can kick it up a notch on another one, yeah, that's my recommendation. Make it spicier. Because it says hot sauce salsa, and it's like,
I was expecting a little more. Use the
yeah.
Carolina
We could have
Reaper
a
next
super
time.
max
Yeah.
version.
Most promos and advertising we do, we say that it is the greatest hot sauce.
nah, we being real on here.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
good.
you know,
That's the
it's-
thing. No one's saying it's
it's
bad.
salsa.
It's top 15.
Okay, yeah,
It's
top
better than
15.
anything you get in a
top 15.
store.
That's true.
It's chronic.
This is facts. Yeah, this is better than any
It's locally
Tostitos
made.
bullshit.
I would pay $3.29 for it.
I'd pay
You're a
$4.99.
cheap bastard to pay $6.
You have no clue. You have no idea.
No, I have an idea.
Brady's like, I would actually pay for this instead of just walking out with it.
Bro, y'all have no idea how mad Brady was when I
pissed
got in his
earlier.
car today. Like he was just silent. He didn't say anything to me. And I was like, "Oh, what is this? What'd you get? Some like fucking vape pen type shit." And he was like, "Yeah, I paid way too much for it." And I was like, "Oh, word was it? It was like $49 for this vape pen or whatever it was."
back and made the
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be 20. I was
Idiot.
like,
Well, thank God
yeah.
you fucking stopped
Could have
smoking
bought a
cigarettes.
carton of cigs.
Do what?
Could have bought a
That's
carton
a carton of
cigs.
cigs, bro. I wish I was
Yeah, I
still
know
smoking.
you should have. Yeah, cigs are tight.
bro, I'm just saying.
We endorse this salsa and cigarettes.
Go.
Just roll it in.
I just 50-cent cigarettes.
Yeah, we don't have any tortilla chips, but let me just put a fucking menthol.
Don't tip me with a good time.
I've just never seen
tastes
Brady
like
so
wreck.
upset.
Dude, I was even telling Paris that Paris, you don't understand, bro. I hate spending money.
Brady
Well,
was
yeah, because
so
that's
mad.
like 4 hours of him at Malone.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
That's 4 hours working. I'm like, dude,
I had a buddy.
like, only work 5
I
hours.
had a buddy that anytime he spent a lot of money, he would compare the price to how many Little Caesars pizzas he could get for it. And I thought that was a great.
Hunter, that was me, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That shit was heavy.
Life
That
imitates
was
art.
me.
Yeah, I'm telling you could. Because think about it, it's $5 for a whole fucking thing of pizza, dude.
It's
That's
actually
crazy.
now $6.49. They raised the price. of
Son of a
the
bitch.
Yeah, Domino's changed
That's
the
how you know
$5.99 to
inflation
$6.99.
has hit.
They don't even have a crazy combo anymore.
Whoa.
Yeah, crazy combos don't exist.
Yeah, because they were a little too loco.
That's the crazy part.
a little too crazy. This is the problem.
Can we not hit on Little Caesars? Just
I don't know. I think their pizza could
Little
be a little
Caesars,
better.
Little Caesars
Clayton, you're
is
killing
like,
it.
it's hot.
It got better.
And it's
it
ready.
got better.
You're
Yeah,
like,
that's-
is it good?
that's
They
what
used
you
to
buy.
have, like,
You
it's
buy
hot
hot
and
and
it's
ready.
Little
ready.
Caesars had a nacho
They used
cheese
to have-
pretzel pizza.
Brady, you were able to go to a pizza place and pick one up instantly. It doesn't get much better than that,
That's what I'm
bro.
saying. Why don't we promote Little Caesars on here?
It used to get better. It's gotten better. They used to have like straight sawdust on the bottom of their crust. It used to be bumpy.
That's what made it good.
That's
with the
what
spice
gave you the
pack.
fiber.
No, the spice packet is not the same. The crust used to be straight sawdust
It
on the
was-
bottom.
My
It
buddy
was
made the joke that
gross.
You could probably throw a Little Caesars pizza into a disc golf, and it probably wouldn't fucking break.
Don't
Taking
worry,
aces,
Brady
bro.
would lose that disc.
Where
would
did
lose
half your
that
disc
disc.
go? I ate it.
Brady, what happened to your disc? I got another one.
There's like 7/8 of a disc just flying out.
What do you
just
keep your
show-
disc in? This fucking cool Little Caesars frisbee golf
Yeah, show her
bag.
the pizza delivery bag instead of my disc golf.
Oh, dude, that shit would be dope. We should start making those. What do you think, Little Caesars golf bag? New line?
Can do.
Hey.
Little Caesars, if you're listening, we're ready.
And we're
Hot
hot.
and ready.
Oh, we're hot and ready.
Now, I do want to take some time to see, Brady, you were telling us earlier today that you had some serious hard-hitting questions. What were some of those things you had going on?
I asked him earlier.
It's just that one bundle?
I was gonna say doubt it and try me.
I do have a new segment presented by Zen Tobacco, though.
Okay, what do we got?
So if you look on
Unofficial sponsor.
Pierce's dumbass pretty face, you'll see my mustache from the beginning of the episode. Notice how it's no longer on my face.
Doesn't
So
belong there.
thanks to this new segment presented by Zen Tobacco, we are going to leg wrestle for it later in the podcast. But you have to keep listening to watch the Indian leg wrestling.
Yeah, you can't skip forward. It won't let you.
It won't let you skip forward.
There'll be
I
too many
promise.
ads in it.
Prison heat.
They've had 14 of these fucking salsa commercials, dude.
Dude, let's get this guy on here and just have like record and just constantly prison heat in the middle of the
dude.
podcast.
They're like,
constantly.
oh, what are you listening to? You take out the headphones, it's just like, your leg, it's too big.
Now, Paris, I was gonna. Jesus Christ, Paris, I was gonna ask you this question, not Pierce.
Paris is over there.
How do you
Go ahead and think of a question you'd like to ask Paris because you meant to ask Pierce.
Well, actually, Paris, I'll hold off my question for you and throw it to Pierce here.
Take back over.
I'll take the alley-oop. What's up?
Hunter was gonna ask, do you know a Silky Boy in Japanese? That's literally what he was gonna
Swear to
ask.
God, he
promise.
was.
I know.
What is silk in Japanese?
I know the lettering, but not the verbiage. I don't know how to say it.
I knew that about you. You had some
Yeah.
little Japanese in you
I'm
there.
very well read.
So do you guys have an inner monologue when you masturbate at all? I was asking Paris this. I thought it would be in an anime accent, but it wasn't. Do you guys have one at all?
No, I usually just
The
play
anime accent?
Fantasy
Oh,
by
did you-
Mariah
no,
Carey.
no,
He's
no,
like,
it's
while I
like fucking Goku
masturbate, and
powering
that
up.
usually gets me there.
What are you saying over there, Pierce?
I usually just play Fantasy by Mariah Carey in the background, and that usually gets me there pretty quick.
Do you ever like paint anything on your hand and then act like it's a girl to check out and see how you're doing tongue game wise?
What, like Jennifer Lopez type deal?
Yeah, dude, you know what I'm talking about, man. You're doing so good, Pierce. Babe, stop.
No.
I love
don't
every
do
bit
that.
of your clothing.
Danny, you're the only guy here
I
we
wish.
don't know yet. Are you a dry guy or a lotion guy?
Oh, that's a great question.
What's on hand?
Lotion?
Anything but
Yeah,
dry.
right. If you have the option, lotion. But
No,
sometimes
it's
you
your
don't
option.
always.
It's your option. What is your preference?
Water. Tap water.
fucking
Kentucky limestone.
What you
City
want is
punch.
a nice like not phlegm, but spit from like the back of Hunter's grandma's throat.
That's cute. Daniel, this is a serious question. This is a serious question.
We have asked this question since the first episode. It's a very important question
Definitely
because
white guy.
everyone jerks off, guys and girls.
Well, I know he probably
you
uses
sure?
that band for his bun on them nuts.
Everyone
though,
whoops
man.
it.
Did you ask?
I don't
many
have
girls
to.
did you ask?
I help them. I'll talk about dudes. It's usually a Dutch rudder. Anyways, Dutch rudders
continue.
aren't homophobic. So
You want to explain what a Dutch rudder is real quick for anyone that doesn't know what a Dutch rudder is?
yeah, man, give me your hand.
Or homophobia.
I don't think I'm going to do that.
All right, I'll grab it. Thank you. That's a Dutch rudder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
God, we've got to get a woman on this podcast.
we don't need them.
Yeah,
We're
but then you
fine
can't do the
without
Dutch
them.
rudder.
Yeah, I can't do a Dutch rudder.
That would be pretty homophobic if we had a girl do a Dutch rudder.
So, vote-wise, Dan's probably a dry guy. I feel like...
What? No.
What?
You a
Come
lotion
on.
guy?
I literally said
What's on
lotion
hand?
unless I don't
Pierce,
have it
there's
on
no
hand.
way. There's no way you're getting lotion. There's no way you have that much Vaseline.
He's Silky Boy.
He's the silky
Who jerks
boy.
off with Vaseline?
Not me.
You're the only dry guy. Look how upset you're
That's
getting.
how drive a guy
That
needs
sounds
to
like
be.
medicated
By the
attention.
way, my shit is silky smooth when it's done. Okay, I thought you'd be about that shit.
Well, yeah, because your hand's like a fucking buffer. Is
Look
that
how
it?
angry. Look how angry the one dry guy's getting. I mean,
It's not
just
angry. It's just my
Dry guy.
eyebrows.
Dry guy.
Dry guy.
Not that angry.
Dry guy. Dry guy. Dry guy. Dry guy. Dry guy. Dry guy.
Zach's busy running his career. Like you know anything about that.
Zach's upstairs beating off with lotion.
That fucking lion sack of shit.
Zach's a dry guy. He's not a dry guy. You can't be a dry guy running a restaurant. I promise. I thought I did it at work. You guys did, you sick fucks.
So we've been doing this thing recently. Kind of, it's just been my thing that I forced upon the group here. So I was thinking about a thing the other day and how we have the term 86, right? It's like it's a restaurant lingo that not a lot of people use, and when I do use it, people that aren't in the restaurant don't know what it is. So I wanted to ask you guys, was there something this week that you would fucking 86 the shit out of? What you got, Brady?
Your eyebrows.
So just so you guys know, 86 means, Dan, you want to take this because I feel like you've been in that as long. Well, I think we've all been in that shit, Brady, especially you with the 86
Why especially me?
because you work in the back where you give me my shit ass food.
This is the 5th week in a row you've come at me about cooking.
The shit ass food is only for Hunter. It's not for the guests.
Yeah. Last time I put my name when I order something in the back.
When I cook something for Lexi, I put nothing but love into it.
I would tell you some things that you guys should know if you're in the restaurant.
Who's Lexi again?
Our most loyal subscriber.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lexi. We love you.
Lexi. What? No cuts this week, Bears. Remember that.
No cuts this week.
No cuts this week.
That was a lot of eye contact.
That was my sexy face.
But yeah, so I was going to say, so 86 in the restaurant industry means that basically you're out of something, or if you're using it as like a something to cancel someone that you don't like 86, that shit. It means like you're kind of getting rid of it, or
It means you're
around
out of stock. You're out of stock if you say 86.
Just because you don't have any friends in the back doesn't mean we don't have it up there.
All
Yeah, do
of
you
my
like
friends
that?
are in the back.
You do kill that shit.
Yeah.
You're the one that stalks people. Doesn't mean
Just
you
because
get to
all the
That's
correct
how you
people.
make friends.
Just because all the Mexicans in the back call you my gay lover and I accept it and you don't, doesn't mean you can come at me.
I do. It is very wholesome.
They think it's adorable when we talk to
I
each
know.
other.
Every time I see them, they're like, "Hoto!"
Well, you ever seen me and Hunter interact in the morning? So guess what happens? This is the last time I talked to you 6 hours ago before we went to bed.
Dude, Brady
how it
has this
goes.
knack to where he will get me as I'm running 8 things of food out to the dinner room. He goes, bro, come here. And I'm like, Brady, I can't right now. He goes, really? Really?
I'm cooking every table in the building.
But
You're
yeah, when I come back there and ask for a ranch, he goes, you ring it in? What the fuck, dude?
That's a joke. You don't have to ring that shit in.
Because you look at me, you don't even look at me when you say
That's
it.
my humor.
You're trying to impress all your cool friends back there that know Spanish words and I don't know
Who
any.
is Papi Chulo?
Hablo un poquito español.
I'm a motherfucking Papi Chulo.
But what would you guys 86 this week? You got some of you at 86?
Dry guys.
God damn it. I set myself up for
You're
this.
0-2 now, bro. We're
Paris,
beating
you're back in the restaurant league now. What do you think? What would you 86?
His name's Pierce.
My name
His
is
name's
Pierce,
Pierce.
you cunt.
I can't get it, dude.
You handed me the mic too. Like, what is this? What's going
I
on?
got 2 peas in here, no pod. Peas in a pod?
We're on a pod.
Literally.
We're literally on
We're
it.
on a pod.
Yeah.
Did you start smoking weed again without me?
Do you want to smoke weed with him?
I wouldn't be able to talk. Yeah, let's get it.
The eyebrow fell off
You like
perfect
that?
timing. That was so good.
Okay, since you have like, you can donate your hair to Locks of Love, right?
Who, Brady
But
can?
if you have hair loss, like I can
all the
donate
time.
my
That's
hair
why I
to
look like
you,
this.
absolutely. But the hair loss is not just the hair, right? It's also like the eyebrows. So do people donate eyebrows?
You know how many pretty little
Dude.
ginger girls are out there with alopecia because of Brady? Like literally one.
I never thought about it like that.
You're welcome, little ginger girls.
That's what you were always doing.
Yeah, man. Why do you think I'm always busy?
Dude, you're killing it out there.
Why do you think I grow my hair to this? It's as far as it goes.
We can help
To
it,
keep
right?
himself humble.
You gotta have one weakness.
You know, I used to have really pretty hair. He remembers it. Hopefully, I hope you remember it. Please remember it.
Of course, it was luscious and beautiful.
Yeah, he
It's
was like
everything I ever
14.
wanted.
He
And
had
you
hair.
took it away from me.
I donated it to little ginger kids with what'd you call it? Peach?
Kid. With Pisha.
That's what I said. I thought you said Petra.
Are you thinking of Petra? That's in Jordan.
Oh, close enough.
No, that's not what he was thinking.
You're thinking of Mothra. That's from Godzilla.
That's Godzilla.
that's
Fuck.
what it is. I got
I
you.
knew I was close.
Are we
I
still in
was
the
close.
86 segment? What is going on right now?
86
What the fuck
kinda-
is that?
86
86 the last 5.5 minutes.
Hunter described the whole
What is
Latin
that?
origin of 86.
Right. I don't know about 86, but I had 69 your fucking grandma, Hunter.
You're fucking done.
We're 86 in this
86 and
conversation.
69s.
Hunter,
420.
we're not attacking you, bro.
No, I'm just excited to be next to Paris. This is why I aggressively grabbed
Paris
him.
or
He had to go
you
full
do
game
know his
face,
name.
too.
Who
You're
you sitting
looking
next
right
to?
at me when you say that. You're looking dead smack in my eyes.
It's because I can't see anything over here, Brady. I'm trying to make it a good time for everybody. God damn it!
You look like Peyton Manning right now.
Confused?
His forehead's not that big.
Concussed and game day marks.
Peyton's forehead's
That's
not
what I
that big.
No, carry on.
I gave you a compliment.
What's
You know
that?
how many people tell me I look like Peyton Manning? Zero.
I look like Peyton Manning.
You know how many people tell me I look like Luke Combs, the country singer? Everybody.
That is a good one.
Yeah, the back of house, one of the expos, like the last time I was working, they're like, hey, do you know Alan Jackson? And I was like the singer? Yeah, I've heard a couple of his songs. And they're like, no. Are you related to him? I was like,
Bro, you look like Alan Jackson's kid. I swear to God. It is 5 o'clock somewhere for you, bro.
somebody was
just
like, are
like-
you okay? You've been staring off into the distance for 5 minutes, not saying a word. I was like looking at one of the Drake's music videos. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to think of if I know anybody in real life that dresses like Toby Keith. He's just up there, a cowboy hat, sleeveless shirt, and like a shark tooth necklace.
God, man, I'm really glad you guys brought up
Puka
Toby
shells.
Keith because I got a little bit of Toby Keith knowledge for you that happened in Lexington,
Just a
Kentucky a few days ago.
The people's been
Oh,
wanting
wait,
it.
enlighten
Finally
me,
brought it
Brady.
up.
So we all know Toby Keith is top 5 greatest country musician of all time. We all love him. We can all sing his songs together.
behind
I would
Rascal
totally
Flatts.
disagree with that statement, but yeah.
Top of country is like,
Okay, you guys done? And first off, Rascal Flatts is better than Toby Keith.
That's why I said
my
right
God,
behind-
you're
that's
so
why I said right
retarded.
behind- Oh, I said right.
I can take the rain off the roof of this broken house.
That don't bother me.
There we go. Rascal Flatts, baby. So anyways,
Gross.
do you think Life of Highway is better with them?
Have you ever
I
seen
think
the
it's a
movie
great
Cars?
movie soundtrack. You ever seen Cars?
Yeah. Lightning
Both
McQueen.
terrible.
No, I'm
was
not
my
song
best
movie.
shot about
First off,
8 years.
Life is a
Song
Highway
movie
with John
terrible.
Mayer. Their song was called Route 66. No, that's John Mayer. Life is a Highway with Rascal Flats.
You're an
it's a
idiot. You
fucking
can't name
cover,
a single
dude. That's
Grateful
not their
Dead
song.
song.
You don't know that.
Route 66 is a cover. Look it up right now, Brady Wilson. Pull out your fucking phone.
So, anyways,
Whip
Toby
it out,
Keith the other
coward.
night was in Lexington, Kentucky. Toby Keith, Lexington, Kentucky. Breeders' Cup happened. Big deal. Don't know who won, but horses race.
That's true.
And Dylan was there. Dylan, who won?
Dylan was in Lexington.
Flightline won the biggest races.
I called it. I should have bet money on him.
Dude, I
So
talked about it.
his odds were 21-50. So, anyways, Toby Keith, Lexington, Kentucky Breeders' Cup. He was in town with Dave Portnoy, El Presidente of Barstool Sports, and apparently they went to Jeff Ruby's, had dinner. Toby Keith was hammered, which
Classic.
classic Toby Keith, and he sang in the Jeff Ruby's dining room for over an hour for the whole entire
Get the
dining room.
fuck outta here.
Do you know how pissed I am that I'm poor and can't eat there?
Yeah, but you could work there.
Fuck.
Dude, so on top of that too,
Can we get our
Portnoy.
oysters? Oh no, our sous chef's out listening to Toby Keith right now.
Red
It should be done any minute.
So
I'll
Portnoy
feel you,
actually
bro.
came to Malone's, and our new host said that we have no, we were completely booked up, and he was like, "What?" and laughed his way out of there and went
And
somewhere
that's
else.
why I went to Jeff Ruby's with Toby Keith.
Yep.
I hate Malone
Toby
so
Keith
much
was
right
probably
now.
with him.
Toby Keith was 100% with him. Toby Keith was definitely like, I know the owner going there. You know what I'm saying? And they said that dumbass shit, Dave Portnoy. And Toby Keith was like, let's go to Jeff Ruby's and really embarrass everybody.
Dude, when I heard that shit about that, I was like, I was so glad that someone else fumbled the bag like I did with Theo Vaughn multiple times when he's coming there. Like I'm glad that someone else finally fumbled the bag with that. Honestly.
If only you had those fucking that game paint on your face.
Oh,
like you do
dude,
now.
I'm ready now to talk to him. I just will never forget the day I kept fumbling, and then we got a phone call when Theo Vaughn's on FaceTime for me. That shit fucking sucked. But
Dude, we could have been on his podcast right now instead of these
did
scrubs.
y'all hear about that?
I knew he was there.
So
Just didn't know you fucked up while he was there.
yeah, so the first time I did it, the girls kept buying him drinks, saying it was for me, and they didn't know each of them was buying drinks saying that it was for me. So I was like, he's gonna think I want to fuck him. You know what I mean? Like I'm giving him like his fifth fucking Captain Morgan, and I haven't even bought one of them. You know what I mean? And then the next day, or like months later, he's back in there, and I get a FaceTime, and I decline the FaceTime because we're talking, and then on the FaceTime was fucking Theo Vaughn with a worker at our restaurant, dude. Yeah, I fumbled that shit out of that, mo. Yeah, it was good times. Good times.
Dude, we could
Always
have
answer a FaceTime, dude.
been famous right now instead of sitting with these scrubs.
Gosh. I'd have my own mic.
We definitely have more than 4 mics at least, for sure.
We would have had a couch to sit on and some good bourbon. I'm joking.
I'll
I
say
ain't
something
smart.
that we can 86 that happened this
that was for
morning.
you, buddy.
I don't know. Did you all see what happened at UK's campus like early this morning? 2:30 a.m. There was this like, okay, we're 86ing. Her name is Sophia Rosing. And she had this like super racist tirade. In
Dillard's
that residence
86'd her.
hall. Yeah,
Dillard's
Dillard's
86'd the
86'd
fuck out of her, bro.
He said she's not working for us anymore. But like, but this bitch, anyways.
Dillard's. The clothing apparel shop.
So pretty much what happened was like this. I don't know how she got there, but she ended up in a residence hall, drunk as fuck. And then like some people were trying to like calm her down, corral her, and the RAs that were there were black, and she just started calling them the N-word, just like yelling at them, just like being really just like the nastiest thing you've ever seen in your life. But like the biggest thing that I noticed in that, I was just like, there is no one else with her, right? She is by herself. Can you imagine how the balls you have to be in that situation alone with no friends, no one else, and you're just there's two like. Thank God those girls that were there were those girls and not someone else, because this girl would have gotten her ass beat. And most other
that's
places.
why you need the friends to like tell you to shut the fuck up.
Right,
And,
right.
All right, we're gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah, clearly there's like
those
a
beliefs don't.
what?
There's also a reason she doesn't have those friends.
Yeah,
So-
right. That might
I
be
can't
another
believe nobody
reason.
wants to hang out with this girl.
So why not? Why does no one want to hang out with me? It's like, I don't know.
Can you imagine when you go out with her, like at the bar? Oh fuck! You know what I mean? Like that is a no tequila, please.
Just constantly worried. Just
Yeah, that is-
checking your surroundings.
Like oh my god! Like fuck!
What if it was the pigeon girl last week at Halloween?
Oh no, that could have been.
Could have
Dude, she
been.
got her those wings.
There was a girl there was a giant pigeon there.
She had these massive wings.
She was dressed as an angel, and Hunter consistently called her a pigeon.
Well, the way she was clucking around, I thought she was a fucking pigeon. Dude. Well, it wasn't a chicken. I'm not an idiot.
And it can't be a rooster.
So then you would know
male.
that pigeons coo. They don't cluck.
Get the fuck out from my podcast.
You start one religion and now you're fucking
Well,
old
I mean, are we
McDonald.
surprised that Hunter knows so much about cock?
Oh. No, don't laugh. We had a moment
Hey.
where we were going for Dan, and I wanted to keep it.
It's not the first
Penis.
admurger to know a lot about cock. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I do want to say this. Speaking of the UK thing that happened, Brady had something happen at his apartments today.
Oh, there was.
How did you forget that?
Yeah, he got accepted to UK. great segue.
We're segueing from racist Dillard's employees to there was an active.
Ex Dillard's employees.
Sorry, she lost a good career. So, fucking my apartment complex. There was an active shooter there today who was running around trying to shoot up people and had a hostage, and the cops got him. I don't know if he's dead or not, or if they arrested him or what, but they got him.
Was Eric back home?
Eric wasn't home. Eric didn't know about it until he walked in the door. Was like, "What's up?" And I said, "Bro, there's an active shooter here today." He said, "Shit." He said, "Our apartment gets shot." I said, "No." He said, "All right." And he sits down and just starts listening to a wrestling podcast. Yeah.
By the way, when I do sit in Eric's spot, I see why he loves it so much. On
It's
the
a good
couch.
spot.
It's a good spot.
He's like Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, but smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Sheldon doesn't know shit about wrestling. Eric could tell you exactly what audience member was sitting in the WCW Nitro Fire pay-per-view from 1984.
That's not a real thing.
Well,
WCW?
Yeah.
What does that say?
he's making shit up.
WCW is a real wrestling federation before WWE bought it.
So where's their F for federation?
I'm not getting into this.
What are the two W's for? One's wrestling. What's the other one?
I'm not allowed to have a wrestling corner, so we're not going to talk about wrestling. No, it's just...
No, guys, don't get him on this. You guys know what not to do.
We had a segment once about trigger words. This is one of them.
And it's not Charlie Sheen.
Is wrestling okay?
We can say wrestling.
Okay, all right. Does it stand for wrestling?
You got 2 hours to talk about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me one second.
Why don't we let Brady have his wrestling corner? I don't understand why we stopped him from doing this every time.
Yeah, Hunter, you want to tell them?
How did I do that?
Because this was your podcast. So.
I do want to say this though. Hey, Pierce, can you do me a favor, Pierce, and hold the mic at least?
Aren't you gonna put it in your hand?
Yeah, you just
Like
just
a
had
twat?
it.
Aren't you
put
gonna-
it not in your hand because you were worried about it.
Is Brady about to be eating salsa out of this fucking
Which is
jar?
crazy because I think you spooned it out of the salsa
Give me this whole stuff.
into your hand.
Are you going to lose this Indian leg wrestling later with you two versus me? 2v1 handicap match.
But
Let's
I'm not
get
worried
it.
about it because you've already been dumb twice in the same conversation.
I do want to say this though, Pierce. Did you know that one of our frequent guests on here? Hopefully he'll be back. I don't know how the tag team championship went with them too, but Jackie Daytona is especially a massive lover of your fabrics.
Oh, I'm aware. That's all he wears.
Do you
I'm actually his manager.
Yeah, he is. But I want to
Yours
say
is actually Sunshine Jackson.
So the story goes of how
I
he
am
came up with
Sunshine
his
Jackson.
catchphrase of fireflies. Do you remember how that happened during frisbee golf?
It's you got the sun in your eyes because my old 2K player,
What in the fuck are you saying?
my old 2K player, we lived in this trap house fucking like 7 years ago, was Sunshine Jackson. He was just like a 7'3" black dude with like a McDonald's.
Oh my
fucking
god, that's
blonde
his
afro.
manager, Sunshine Jackson.
Yeah, I was manager, and he would always block just fucking everything, but was terrible at shooting. So he'd always say, "You got the sun in your eyes," and just swat everything.
But I do remember you, because I was out there during this rare occurrence, and the cigarettes were going. And it is amazing.
Such a good mama bird, you know.
But I would say that I do remember it very vividly. It was a cigarette was going on, and then Pierce even said, "You know, it's, dude, your bird noise is really good."
I trained a bird in the backyard.
The beautiful thing was, I remember after of course the salsa feeding that happened out there as well. Okay, we're just going.
This
okay,
is just
going.
this is just a
going
segment
deep.
of its own right now.
I should have made one for Dan. The heartburn is going to be immense. And everybody, once again, this is Henry Clayton's
Prison Heat.
prison heat salsa.
Hey, I understand. I do understand why it's called prison heat because this is gonna burn my asshole later. I swear.
That actually tasted a lot better when Brady gave it to me. I don't know what it was, but like that made that a lot better.
That's been every meal for the past 3 years. Yeah.
It's made with love.
So, guys, after the quick break, we are now back. Daniel unfortunately had to leave because he had to get a ride. He's doing more successful stuff, aka trying to figure out
Starting a religion.
starting religion.
That's a lot.
It's a lot going on, but
Pierce, I wanted to ask you about like, let's get deep on a level here about like life and working and like, working to feed yourself and not someone else. How much of your decision to like make your own business or make your own clothing company was like out of like, fuck this, I can't be working for people and like making them more money?
A very large portion of it. I
think so?
I
Yeah.
really enjoy putting as much work in as I want to do exactly what I want to do, which luckily my bills are very cheap and things I want to do are
Right.
pretty cheap as well. So if
like-
I don't want to put that much work into it, I don't necessarily have to, but I really enjoy doing it in the first place. So it works
feel
out
you.
pretty well. And I don't really have to have a website or a large amount of stock to sell stuff. It all sells pretty quick.
Yeah.
Everything I make. So pretty privileged
I
in
wanted
that
to ask
aspect
you-
as well.
How much do you think is that is like talent, and how much do you think it is hard work? Like, did you have a knack for like fashion and stuff before you started doing this, or
Yeah,
did you?
I never had any experience in sewing or any type of fashion. I was always pretty basic as far as like
Yeah.
my clothing went in the first place, but really found calling for it when I started going to like festivals and stuff, just being able to express yourself more through wearing ratchet ass dyke sparkly clothes and shit
Yeah,
and
fuck
fucking
yeah.
making other people comfortable feeling the same way with whatever. Like I have a ton of people that are like, yeah, I don't think I could like rock this clothing, whatever. Like it's cool and all, but I don't think I could do it. I'm just like, dude, fucking own the shit. It's not.
Do you think if it wasn't clothing, it would have been something else? Like you seem to like. It doesn't seem like you're like, oh, fashion is my passion, like day one kind of person. It was just like you
I definitely
found the
gravitate towards that more now than anything else because I've worked like food kitchen management at music festivals and stuff, and I've worked like kitchen and restaurant jobs my whole life, but it's definitely not what I'm super passionate or
Yeah,
excited to go do anymore just because I've been doing that for so long and everything like that. But definitely finding more of a niche in the merch and artist experience of music festivals and things like that.
So going along with that, have you ever like attempted any other creative endeavors like music or anything else like that? Or-
I'm not really super musically oriented. I definitely
Rap
appreciate
label.
it and go out of my way to see. That's like mainly what I entertain myself with is going to concerts and shows and things like that. But I used to do painting and trying to sell paintings and graffiti before I did the clothing, and it was fun and still semi-successful, but not near as like fulfilling for me because it's harder to sell paintings because like people can sit there and appreciate it, hang it up on their wall, but it's not something they can wear out in public and like
Right.
express themselves with on a daily basis if they
gotta be
want to.
way harder to sell a painting than like a dope
Yeah.
ass
You
hoodie
know,
or something.
I've always
too.
wanted to
Yeah,
be at that level in my
exactly.
life to where I could go to like say I don't know, like one of those pop up things to where there's art and everything like downtown and stuff. People are putting art out and they're putting like $320, $600 on like these pieces of art, and then one day I could finally be like, I'm gonna buy that.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm
Feel
gonna
nice, yeah.
I'm gonna buy that shit.
Yeah, and I've
You know?
got plenty of like $500-$600 pieces of art that like it's cool and it's like homies I know and have supported through doing their
Yeah.
art and stuff like that, but it's just not so, like tangible everyday thing. Like it's on my wall
stuff
and gives
is
me
definitely a lot
inspiration and shit every now and then, but it's not like tangible for everyone
It's
else
very
to see.
it's
and
very
things
much
like that.
intrinsic when I feel like it comes to a piece of art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like what does it do for you? When I feel like
Exactly.
clothing in general is more of a kind of subjective. I'm out and about. I want people to appreciate it. It's like it's more of a movable piece of art that you can carry with you all the time. You know what I mean?
I was gonna ask you like, how much do you think you're driven by like the fact that like you get to sell this stuff? Because it's like making something is one thing, but having someone else value it and put money on it is a different thing.
It's definitely, like I said, I'm very fortunate to where like most stuff I make, it sells pretty quickly and stuff. So I know a bunch of other artists and people who do the same thing, that their stuff does not sell as quick, regardless of how much better or more talented they are. It's just marketing yourself. Cause I've been doing this for like 3 or 4 years or something like that. So it's just like everyone I know on Instagram that follows me and supports me, like I know 90% of them and have met them in person or like supported them in some way, somehow, whether it's supporting, like showing other people their brand or doing it myself.
So it's not just like, you know, you're out here to make money, but you're like putting people
exactly.
on
Like this is what I'd be doing
it.
regardless of how well it was sound in the first place. This is like what I like to do.
I wish Danny was here to talk about this because it brings up a point about how money drives certain things that doesn't like drive others. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, damn it, I wish Danny was here. But like, it's not necessarily a bad thing that having a reward of money coming for your endeavors, like it's not a bad thing. Like it can't be isolating in like a purely capitalist. I'm trying to like.
Hey, don't let me get in your head.
I get like 45 seconds into a good thought, and then something happens every
Welcome to
fucking
being stuck
time
in
on this
static
podcast.
because I was stuck with that with y'all fuckers talking about my grandma. So get the fuck over it.
Okay, fair.
Carry on.
Fair.
Carry on.
I tried my
Okay,
hardest to
that's
hold
fine.
that in.
No, you didn't. You pushed it out. I saw you make a face. You like you were taking a shit.
How hard
And then these leather.
No, there's no way you.
These leather ass chairs exposed him so hard.
He fucking broke the bottom of the chair. Like, no, you didn't. You shot a fucking M16 through the bottom of that
I was trying
chair.
my hardest to prepare the story to hold it in, bro. I swear.
It's about as far as into like a
You
serious
need to
topic
check
we
your
can
anal
get.
tension. It's out of control.
No, anal retention rates with Brady are far out the window.
Yeah.
I'm getting my refund on
It's
that
because
anus.
you ate so much salsa.
I have Crohn's disease.
You should see him every time he's here where he's like, guys, I don't know if I keep going. I'm so hungry. Eat before you fucking come here, bro. Every single fucking time. I get so sleepy when I can't eat. Oh, does it hurt? You've been talking about my grandmother for 3 hours. Go fuck yourself.
I have Crohn's disease.
Pierce, you too.
If I
I can't say it, dude. Fuck.
If I eat before
We're
the podcast,
different
I'm shit.
people.
Yeah. Not all Asians look alike, okay?
Very racist.
Fraternal Asians.
I don't
He's
know.
high, not Asian.
May-
God damn it.
How do we go from farts to Asians? I'm sorry I did this.
Maybe I'm just vocalizing my
sorry.
anger for parents going ape shit on
Dude,
grandma.
I think you
I'm
are.
sorry,
I went
bro.
hard on you today. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. I went
I
hard on you
swear to
today.
God, I tried to hold that fart in.
I know you did, Brady. I saw you trying.
That's why I was sort of laughing. 'cause
And
it
I was
wasn't
trying to
happening.
ask Pierce a real question about how, what motivates him and how today's society is set up, but we farted instead. So we're gonna take
There's
Real
like-
Honestly,
mature,
that could be an
Brady.
expression for society
Real
today.
mature.
Sometimes it's just a shit clog.
It's postmodern, man. We're out here.
You
We're
like
out
Adam
here.
West over there.
You know what was crazy? That I spent so much money on fake mustaches. that was literally
You're making it about yourself again.
5 Little Caesars pizzas.
You're making it about yourself again.
Here's
Paris
what I
is
wanted to
trying
ask
ask a
you
story.
Spend that
about.
much?
Yeah, that's whatever.
I want to ask you about this community, like making clothes, that kind of stuff. Is it like a niche that like where everyone can eat, kind of? Do you think, or do you think it's like,
you go.
only select
Get it.
people will kind of come out of this? Because there's some industries like I don't know, podcasting is one of those right now where like a lot of people are doing it. A lot of people can make some money off of it, right?
I definitely know a bunch of random dudes that I know strictly off Instagram that I talk to and just fucking geek over weird sewing shit with that
Yeah.
we all have our own business and stuff. But as far as I know, I'm the only person like in Lexington doing the exact same shit, I would say.
That's facts.
That I'm
though.
doing. I know a bunch of people that do like the vintage resale and stuff, and that's
yeah.
that's cool and all, but like
Putting
in
your
my
own-
opinion, I collect vintage tees when I see them too, but I sell them all for $20. Like I didn't fucking make it, so I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
wax someone on just like, oh, I found something rare. Fucking
So does
give me
that
$200 for
Is
it. Like
is that
I didn't put
something-
anything into it, so it's
is that,
not.
is that
anything-
something that you take pride in, the fact that like that's how you started and then you've
Yeah, I
made
de-
something more of it?
Yeah, I definitely take pride in the fact that like I put blood, sweat, and tears
Yeah.
into fucking more or less everything I make, and it all definitely started out kind of mids, to be honest. But
Yeah.
we've gotten to where we're at, and it's all
I want to ask you
Pretty far
about
probably by this point.
like Lexington in particular, right? Because Lexington is kind of an interesting place where it's like it's got a community of people that are willing to like do stuff and work hard, but like overall, Lexington is very like kind of a corporate kind of place.
It's very vanilla.
Yeah, it is literally any strip mall you can go into any town that is Lexington, like legitimately. But you go towards the center of town where it's like a little more vibrant, a little more stuff happening. But then you see people like you popping up, a little more musicians popping up. Is it something that like do you think Lexington fosters that kind of thing, or do you have to like go super niche with the audience that you target towards?
I definitely think it does, but just a lot of people that do come up and are big enough to have any recognition here move out and go to somewhere bigger where there's a bigger market and shit. But honestly, I don't really have any need to. I like being here where I can foster a market and other people to do the same thing. Like I've taught like dozens of people here to sew and start making their own clothing and stuff that are other artists and things like that, so they don't have to outsource it to other people.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I think there's a lot that can occur here that just doesn't because like people kind of bail out pretty quick once they get some success.
Because that's what the difference is with this market out here. Because I've always thought about that. I've always thought about why is it that these other areas have so much more of a market for this type of stuff, even though it's oversaturated. You know what I mean? Like California, New York, Florida, even Texas. I was just saying in the mere fact where it's like because people, it's a lot harder of a process, and people forget that the people that were out there before doing it created that market for it. So that's why you got to kind of bear through. You got to bare knuckle death match with that shit. You got to kind of just go with the rise and the tide.
On that same line of questioning. Do you feel like the reason you have been able to become so successful in a smaller market is, I feel like your marketing is fantastic. Like I've been to places in Cincinnati, Louisville, like places all around this area where I still see Silky Boys stickers and stuff, where like
I definitely, a huge part of it is just word of mouth, to be honest. I get people all the time every week that are just like, yo, saw someone wearing this in public, hit them up and they were like, here's where to go to, need this shit right now.
Yeah.
So huge part of it is literally just, honestly, I got a ton of friends that support me and have bought multiple things off me, but a bunch of it is just randos off Instagram or I meet in person at bars or shows and stuff that are just like, they just hit me up and they're like, yo, I need this.
Consistent guest. We got
No, he's a fashion designer.
Yeah.
We're the podcasters. So one thing I love about your marketing.
Brady's got it.
Yeah. There's one thing I love about your marketing is everywhere I go to play disc golf, there's a Silky Boy sticker on a hole.
Oh yeah, I try to vandalize the public as much as possible.
I love it, dude. And
Those
like,
graffiti roots.
Even my roommate Eric, who's like anti-life and the world, he'll see me like, Silky Boys, how's Pierce doing? I'm like, motion school, Eric. But even Eric.
And that's what I'm saying is like I knew of you through different people that we work with and stuff, but like the first time that like I took the time to realize your impact is I was in Cincinnati because I have family in the Cincinnati area, and I saw a Silky Boy sticker on a bathroom wall in a bar in Cincinnati, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this guy, like, he understands what he's doing. Like, he knows why he's doing this.
I definitely try to go to all the local bars and pop-ups, whether it benefits me or not. Still,
that's why I wanted to know, like, about your marketing strategy, because you seem to get it. Like, you seem to understand that even if you hit this niche market around here, you can still make a living and you can still do what you want to do. And I think that's really fucking cool, because I mean that's kind of what we're trying to do here. Like that. So I appreciate it.
Well, I wanted to ask like a kind of a grander question about Lexington at this point. So do you think that Lexington could eventually foster like a community around arts the way that, Louisville does, the way that bigger places do? Because once again, Lexington people kind of tend to leave and go and try to pursue it somewhere else.
Yeah, either that or the art they fucking romanticize is just a bunch of fucking stupid horses and pictures of barns.
That is
shit.
true.
Well, romanticize is a good word for that, because it is
picture of river, right?
Yeah.
It's melancholy floor.
Yeah. Bourbon barrel.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, I get you though, but like,
Kentucky basketball.
right? Like, it's really all it is here in
I wanted to
Lexington.
join in. I'm sorry.
But like, there's like this underground community of people that are like dying to really kind of support something local, something that they can get behind. That's not just like sports, which is sports are great. Is that Zach?
Oh,
Is
we
that
know
Zach?
who that is.
Oh,
We
it's
locked
Zach.
It's
Zach.
unlocked.
Back from the grand opening. How was it, buddy? How was the grand opening?
If I was a bull, I'd rush the fuck out of it.
Was it busy? Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Got some
That
dry
was the
guy
lunch
energy
vision
in
and
here.
dinner?
You know what? Zach, you know how many
Yeah.
people
It
I
was
had
dry.
today asking me, when does the Leestown Drakes open up? I was going to lose my fucking mind.
Today it opened.
Yeah, I know. I was on to-goes, and half our phone calls was, hey, trying to get a hold of Leestown. I was like, God damn it. Jesus fucking hell.
That's awesome. Congratulations on the grand opening, Zach.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
Guys, for everyone that doesn't know, Zach is the manager of a new restaurant that opened up here in Lexington. Not new, but it is a Lexington staple, and it is BHG, a.k.a. Drake's, and he
And
is
it's
rocking that
delicious.
shit.
Go see Zach. If you go up there and use promo code ZachLyle, you'll get a 40% discount. And you'll get a free appetizer
Tell
of fried pickles.
everybody.
Mention Stuck and Static. He will
Stuck
hook
and
you
Static.
up with his.
Promo code STUD.
Yeah.
Zach, by the way, we brought some salsa for you, some hot salsa.
You want some salsa? Ooh.
Yeah, there we go.
Feed him.
Yeah. Zach's been working 16-hour days. He has plenty of food for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's prison salsa right there, baby.
But, God, it's the back end heat.
I said the same thing at
back
first. But I had to,
I was
conform.
gonna. So earlier you were talking about how, because I've always thought about this too, because I've always been like, I see your gear and stuff like that, but I could never wear it just on the mere fact where like the word I hear that you were talking about earlier, it was like when people say they don't feel comfortable like wearing, and you're like, dude, rock that shit. Do you have a definition of what you would say is a poser? Like, you know what I mean? With fashion, is there a poser in fashion? Because, like, do you think that you want a certain crowd rocking your gear, or is it more or less?
No, I've definitely turned out so many fucking silly little preppy college boys coming to pop-ups at bars and shit that are just like, I want to wear this, but I feel like I would look retarded or gay. And I was like, baby, you're gonna look gay and retarded. And they end up leaving with kimonos and a bunch of shit that like I handmade that look just absolutely preposterous, but they fucking leave with a smile on their face, rocking this shit straight up.
All right.
So I guess,
It's literally all about how comfortably you are in your own skin with it.
do you
for real.
deal with that at all when you're in there? To where like, do you ever catch yourself being like, now that you've been doing it for a while now, do you feel like you create a class of people that you want to be able to sell to, like where you catch people coming in, or do you feel like you're still at that level of where you're like, dude, I'm rep what you want to rep, but you got to be yourself doing it. You know?
Yeah, definitely the rep what you want to rep, but be yourself doing it. I have people hit me up for like specific custom things that they want that are the same style, but they're just like, yeah, tone that shit down hella vanilla. Like I don't want any of this jazz to it, or have people that are the
Where do you
opposite
think
way
that
with it.
comes from though? What do you think it is? Just because like, why do you think your fashion in a certain degree like represents maybe that extreme level? Because it's something that you don't see every day. Probably.
I mean, it's definitely most of it's some flamboyant one-on-one like different stuff. Like I was at Joanne Fabrics buying like thread and stuff today. I had literally like 80-year-old grandmas being like, "Where'd you get your jackets?"
You sold my
I made
grandma
it, and
one of
they're
your
just
jackets.
sitting there stroking me, just like my granddaughter does that.
yeah.
Give me your number,
The
dude.
jacket you sold my grandma, she fucking loves, dude.
Yeah, like I made Brady's mom clothes and shit.
Yeah.
I make,
Pierce loves gilfs, everybody.
He does. Just
I like
be careful if he shows
gills.
up
I
at
don't love
McDonald's.
them.
Well, we've even talked we've talked with Pierce before to where like his fashion is very like metrosexual type of base to where even Pierce, I know I caught that. Pierce has said Pierce is making fabrics as well, but it's one of the things where it's like I remember you even saying you're like, yeah, you won't catch me in the summer without rocking a skirt. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
not a shot. It's just
Yeah,
it's just
dude.
breathable. It's pretty.
Yes,
That's all I
dude.
need.
And he's got that soccer ass, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a swimmer.
Leftover.
I
bet
like
he's
that,
got
though.
some swimmers
I
still.
feel like, when we were talking about with like Danny with like, men being like, closeted and like withdrawn or something, I think it's good to like, just let yourself do whatever it is, wear a skirt, paint your nails, fucking like who cares? Like if it feels good and it looks good.
I'm gonna paint my toenails, not fingernails type of guy. You know what I'm
I
saying?
do that too.
Oh, we had a
Yeah.
whole discussion about the fingernail painting not too long ago.
We have some bigots on the podcast, unfortunately. Yeah, there's a lot of bigotry that happens.
Which one's Who's the biggest?
That's a good question. I think we should get this fucking leg wrestling going. What do you think?
Woo!
I'm
Zach,
down
you want to
to
see some Indian leg wrestling?
Well,
I'm
I
down
tell
to
you
close it out
guys,
with some leg wrestling.
I tell you guys this before we hop into that. Pierce, I want you to go ahead and rep what you got going on, what's new, and what's coming up, and how people can get a hold of you or find your stuff.
We call this.
So we got
this segment's called housekeeping.
I'm going to be in an art gallery at the Lexington Art League Loudon House in Castlewood Park starting this month. I believe it goes from the 13th till January 6th. And then I've got a pop-up / fashion show at Vintage Therapy at the Gray Line Station November 17th, I believe.
So by the
That's
time
gonna-
y'all
that's
hear
gonna be
this,
like
it'll
12 to
be that
7.
week for that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be like a whole full day
Yep.
event. So, yeah.
Let's do
catch
it.
us
Let's clear this fucking shit out.
Well, let's make it a podcast goal to let's all be there. Let's be a part of this.
I'd like to be there. You said
Yeah.
November 17th?
Well,
17th.
Pierce, I asked you
Vintage?
this.
I'm almost 100% positive. So
Pierce, would you ever be down to
I could
do
use some
a
models, so if y'all
Stuck
wanna
and
come
Static
through
Hell
collab?
that,
yeah.
Oh,
Let's do
dude.
it.
do what?
Second Static collab?
Let's do it.
That's kind of what
That's
this
what
is,
I'm
right?
saying.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Let's do another one.
yeah.
Let's do it.
All
All
right,
right,
guys.
let's see it. All right, let's move this table out. Hunter, I need you commentating.
Oh,
Here,
fair.
just push it back. It's only gonna last 30 seconds. If it's lucky.
I need to stop.
Back to the Leg Wrestling Championship of 2022, sponsored by Assholes in Menthol Cigarettes. I have two of the reigning champions right here. I have PJ the DJ, Pierce Jones, coming in hot with his bucket hat and the thighs of fucking steel. I have Brady fucking Wilson, man of legend, man of myth, the man himself. Thor couldn't even take down those fucking legs with me nor. And they're going to set up for the stage right here. Folks, I bet you are not ready for a show like this you've ever seen before. Welcome to ESPN, The Ocho. Here we go. Both men are going to get their legs ready for the competition. Men, go ahead.
1,
Here it is.
2,
Do the count.
3.
Now they're coming in. All right, Pierce comes in hot with the right side, coming in with the twist. His hips have been working for this his whole life. Now Brady, though, has the upper hand because his thighs are quite larger than him, but I feel like this weight may be...
I got a pin. I got the pin. It's best to
Everybody, it was a quick round. Luckily, there are 3 in this round, and Brady Wilson is the winner of this first round. All right, as we come in hot for this next one, both men are going to wriggle out the legs, get a little stretched out. Brady's getting a bit aggressive down there, but Pierce seems to handle it like a man. And as the men set it up, we go on a 3 count. 3, 2, 1. And they're in it. They're both in it. He comes in hot. Brady comes in with a quick side twist of an equivalent factor. He's got the twist. He's got it right there. Pierce Jones seems to come in hot with some flagrant fouls right there to the ass. The left cheek is being brutally demoralized by that. Brody hasn't felt this type of way since he had his first lover. It seems like he's getting more aggressive. Both men have known each other for a long time. They're now throwing hands. The ref has not stepped in yet, but they're now going at it. Brody sits up tight with it. He's coming in hot with a flannel that's been clearly bleached way too heavy. He is now coming for the arm. He's going for the head. He knows that may be a weak point. Brady has lost the glasses. Pierce is now coming in hot with the leg on the side there. He's twisting the turn. He's twisting the turn. He's going for the eyes. I don't know if we can see this one going any deeper, folks. It is getting quite aggressive. He is there. The eyes are taking off. Brady's got the hat back. There's a sense of power. He's going for the arm. I don't know what the point is of this one right now, but we're going to come in hot. Maybe it could be, the bucket hat is being reached for. That may be Pierce's one of his objectives. What are we doing here? All right, we got some belly skin. Good for the...
That's a pin. That's a pin.
They are both physically very well and fit.
That's a pin.
All right.
Call the pin. We're on round 3. Let's get round 2. I'm toasted. No, you're not.
All right, you all.
You won the first 2 rounds.
This was
Why are we going to round 3?
This was a leg wrestling championship of 2022. Thank you for tuning in. Next year, be prepared for maybe a better rundown. Pierce was talking heavy, Marty, but at the end of the day, his zipper shoes did not pull it off.
Guys, thanks for tuning in to Stuck and Static this week. Hope you have a good time and check out the pod.